Hello. I'm actually early for a live stream for once. Yay. Um, Before we get started, just happy Easter, whether you celebrate or not. Consider it a happy Sunday. I hope everybody out there's finding a way to embrace their weekend and make it as weekendish as possible. I have a 14-year-old. We still did an Easter egg hunt, and I think both of us enjoyed it equally. It's super fun. But yeah, I'm excited for our writing prompt today. It's not particularly Easter based or anything like that, but it is pretty fun. I think it's fun. It has to do with battle, so make sure you have a pen, something to write in. I prefer typing actually, but I feel like I would be making all kinds of weird faces if I was trying to type while we were doing this. So whatever works for you, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's just a free write. I mean, you could sit here and not write either. Oh, but speaking of sitting there, I'm gonna post in the comments. Don't forget. We're initiating some ways to hang out. Like we just miss community so much. So after this writing session, whether you choose to share what you come up with or not, I'm just gonna do a little Zoom hangout so I can see all your faces if you're available. I'll post it again on Recovery's page afterwards, but that's optional. Just hit a little hangout. But again, back to writing. Okay, so today, get ready to rumble. Multiple adversaries. What I want you to do is think about conflict, and that's different for all of us. It could be, an uncomfortable feeling inside, some exchange of words, talk to the hand. It could be like MMA style throw down, brawl to the death, whatever you want. You're in charge, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to list out 5 different possible adversaries so you can think about it. I'm going to go back and list them again, and I just want you to write a sentence or two describing what that conflict looks like. Afterwards, we're going to do a little sustained writing activity to kind of explore it more, flesh it out, whatever nerdy writing term you want to put in there. So don't feel pressure. This first one's just listing and ideas. So again, put on your armor, ready to do battle. List your adversaries. So what does it look like when you're in a fight or you disagree with another person? Who's that person? What's the battle look like? What does that battle look like when your adversary is yourself? A little different battle there. What does it look like when you fight or disagree with society's standards? Nature or the natural world? Spirituality, either your own, somebody else's, or maybe the definition itself. Okay? So those are the 5 categories. I'm just going to be silent for a moment, let you think about it. Okay? And I'm going to practice silence a little more. That's something I learned last week. I don't necessarily always give enough time. And I think that's because I'm not writing with you, so I'm just waiting. This week I'm going to try writing as you write, so I kind of know how long it takes. So again, you can do this however you want, but my process is a blank piece of paper. I'm going to number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to write down my adversary, what they look like, how we're battling. Okay? So let's say we're going to give 1 minute for each one. Get my timer. So again, if you're just joining us, the prompt is getting ready to do battle. What's your adversary look like? What does the battle look like? What's the fight or disagreement? So adversary number 1, another person. What does that look like? Go ahead and write. All right. That was a minute. I don't know how to stop. Okay, I got it. I know writing's my forte. Technology isn't. Oh, if you've gone to any of my workout videos, you know that's a thing. So here's the beauty. Maybe you had a lot to say. Hit the pause button. Keep going. It's technology. Use it to your advantage. This is just a rough draft. Like, this isn't our actual writing. It's just getting ideas out. And our second idea is, now the adversary changes. What does that battle, fight, or disagreement look like when it's you against you? So go ahead and write for a minute about that. About 20 more seconds. All right. That was a minute. Again, if you have more to say, pause. Get my voice out of your face and keep writing, because that's the purpose. But the next one we're going to move on to is society's standards. Again, it's creative writing. You could be thinking globally, like all of it, or there could maybe be one specific label, tradition, routine, rule, dogma, paradigm, whatever you want, like whatever's burning inside of you. But that's really our focus for number 3. So, ready, set, go. About 20 seconds. And that's that one. All right, we're moving on to number 4, nature in the natural world. This could be really anything outside of man-made stuff. That was not a very writerly way to describe that, but hopefully you know what I mean. If you don't, though, use chat. That's what it's there for. But keep in mind, it's not necessarily spirituality, because for me, like in my own beliefs, the universe is my sense of spirituality. But I'm not thinking about that part right now. I'm thinking of the concrete things in nature. But that's just for me. Again, it's your practice. But what happens when you have a battle with something in nature? What does that look like? What's the fight about? Who's your adversary? I'm gonna write for a minute. Ready, set, go. About 20 seconds. All right. Last but not least, spirituality. So what does a battle look like when you engage with your own issues with faith or your personal belief in a higher power? Or when do you go to battle against someone else's spirituality? Or when does the definition of spirituality become a, them are fighting words kind of thing for you? P.S. Haven't said that since the 90s. Oh, probably TMI, but that's how I roll. Anyways, I digress. 1 minute, let's talk about spirituality and go. Twenty seconds. And that's that. I'm just going to practice silence for a moment and allow you to look at what you've written, add whatever else it is you think it needs or deserves. And for anyone just joining, we listed out some possible adversaries in battle. That's really just a jumping point. So I'm just going to pause. If I would recommend, if you're writing in a book, close it. If you typed, minimize the browser. Because in writing, one of the worst things we can do is go straight into editing and fixing mode. We need to take some space. So I'm going to fill that space with random thoughts from Lisa. What's really cool about the next activity, in my opinion, is that I'm going to allow you to take on a fictional role and kind of see something from a different perspective. I think it's cool to do this when we talk about conflict, but it's a fun way to approach anything that's throwing wrenches into your world. So let me be really specific. I was really struggling with the pandemic. I am currently vacillating back and forth from struggling to not struggling to kind of struggling to pretending it's not existing. And part of that is like the sense of powerlessness and uncertainty. I want to just know, even if it's bad news, I just want to know so I can deal with it. So it feels like all my power is taken away, that powerlessness, right? I can gain my power back if I tell a story about it and put myself in third person. I can make myself the hero. I can place all of the elements where I want them and figure it out. It doesn't even have to be a positive ending, but it's just nice to have that kind of control. So that's like a cool way to do creative writing. One, you just get some neat stories. But if you're coming at writing as a way to some type of catharsis to clear yourself or cleanse yourself or understand yourself and the world around you, it's a really cool activity on perspective. So we're going to do it for both reasons today. What I'm going to ask you to do is choose just one of those conflicts. And I want you to assume the opponent's voice, right? So for me, I'm going to pick me versus my spirituality. So I wrote, I know this is a battle I can't win. In fact, I would be losing even if I won against my own spirituality. Yet I choose to fight it anyways. So that seems a little asinine when I say it out loud. So what I'm going to do for my actual writing piece today is I'm going to be my spirituality. And I'm going to write a letter to myself about this conflict. I have a choice. I could be super humorous. I could be my spirituality and make fun of Lisa, who thinks she knows everything and just keeps doing the same stuff all over again instead of just giving in to what she knows is the truth. I could be serious. I could be my spirituality and send out a desperate plea to Lisa. Like, please understand. Here's the wide-eyed view that I see, and I just love you and care about you, and this is why I want it for you. I could be sarcastic and angry. Like, you know what? I've given you all of these signs and all of these miracles in your life. You're like a naughty teenage child who just wants to figure it out the hard way. So it's just like a really cool thing about perspective. And that's what I want you to do. It's choose just one of your adversaries, assume their voice, and write you a letter. Before I start a timer, I'm going to write those directions so that any newcomers kind of are on the same page. And then I'll set a timer. So what do I want you to do? While I'm typing, I don't want you writing just yet. I want you to go through, read your list of 5, pick the one that speaks to you most, and just kind of have a silent in your head brainstorm about it. And hopefully you saw, that's why I'm not typing while we're doing these lives, because my face would be ridiculously weird, aka is. So let's see, we have till 2:45. I'm gonna put 20 minutes on the timer. That sounds like a lot. I promise you it isn't. So for 20 minutes, you're writing a letter, assuming the role of your adversary to yourself. And if 20 minutes feels like too long, pause, go get a drink, something to snack on, or write a second letter, or look at your letter and revise it and rework it. Maybe even turn it into a poem. Bonus points for that one. Anyways, now that I've talked so much, we're going to do 19 minutes. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to be checking the chats. I mean, obviously I'm going to write too, but I'm going to be checking. So if you have questions about this prompt, please feel free to ask. And also, I am going to stop intermittently and reiterate the directions. So if there are any newcomers, they're not just like, why are we staring at a girl who's furiously writing in a journal on the screen? Deal? It's a deal for me. I'm the only one that I can see. So yeah, anyways, go ahead, write.
Still doing anything?
All right, we're about halfway done. Oh gosh, I'm so bad at math. We have 15 minutes. Let me put it that way. Sorry if I'm interrupting your flow, but I did want to mention for anyone new, we are just writing a letter. For those of you that have already begun, if you're feeling stuck, think about what you typically write in letters. Questions to see how the other person's doing, descriptions of your side. Maybe if there's conflict, you might want to put an apology or explain yourself. So yeah, I'll leave you to it. All right, we have about 12 more minutes. Looks like we got some new people. So if you're just joining us, it's a journal activity today where you think of a conflict between yourself and another person, maybe your own self or some experience in your life, maybe the natural world, maybe the pandemic itself, your own feelings, and you write a letter from the other side's perspective to you. It could be a letter of apology, a letter of explanation, a greeting, nice to meet you kind of letter. Just start writing and see what happens. All right, a little less than 9 minutes. And like I said, some of us will be done writing and some of us won't. You can go back into what you wrote, make some changes, edit it, or maybe you can start a second letter and explore a different type of conflict. Or maybe, here's an idea. Like I wrote an apology letter. Maybe now I want to write an introductory letter, like from the same adversary. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. All right, 5 more minutes till we're through. Just a few more minutes. All right, we have 2.5 minutes left, so I'm going to recommend that you finish up the sentence or words that you're writing and go back and read what you have, maybe cross out some stuff you don't like, add some stuff you do. All right, that is time. So I'm gonna ask you to do that annoying thing, close it, don't look at it, set it aside, and just listen for a moment. I really hope you found that valuable. I would love to hear about the experience, good or bad, because I'm always looking to improve and to see people. Total extrovert. I miss humans. So yeah, I am desperate when I say come to the Zoom hangout. But I just want to throw back to people who were here 2 weeks ago or who have had the chance to go on our website and rewatch the videos. Because again, even if you missed the live feed, our wonderful Lindsay is downloading all the videos and putting them on the Recovery Fitness website. So you could go there and see old writing activities, workouts, meditations, yoga. But I digress. I'm just going back to the first week. So not the last week, but the week before, which would be March 28th. Sorry. I talked about an activity where you could take a piece of writing and turn it into a poem. So that is an option if you want to keep writing after this. I kind of have an example. I did a piece of writing earlier this morning, and I did it like a journal, and then I got highlighter, and I took only the pieces I thought sounded cool, and then I went and mashed them up into a poem. So if you're poetry minded or want to explore poetry, that's one thing you can do. Another thing, and a little editing tip, is to actually read from the bottom up. So if you read backwards, your brain's going to catch more, because this cool thing happens with reading and writing where your mind works more quickly than the medium. Even if you're typing 95 words a minute, your brain can process more quickly, and it's going to fill in blanks. So there might be missing words. So if you read the sentences backwards, like not, for example, patience is my virtue is something I have. You wouldn't say virtue, you wouldn't say like virtue my is patience. You would just read that sentence and then the sentence before it and the sentence before it. So it's like backwards order, but correct sentence structure. I hope that makes sense. If not, that's what the chat's for. But I am going to end our activity here. Hopefully you had some fun with it and or found something out about you or yourself as a writer. And I will post the Zoom link on Raw Recovery's page. It'll be open till 3:15. And then I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Sunday outdoors. But before I leave, I just want to mention my gratitude for anyone who took the time to do this activity and be here today. And also to remind you that even if this isn't your cup of tea, please share it. That's part of what promotes our programs, builds our community. Like you play a key role in that, and we appreciate it. I also want to let you know that we're here for whatever your needs are. We have our great peer services if you want to hook up with somebody to help you through a recovery journey. We have tons of other wellness offerings. And if you need something that we don't provide, we'll do our best to just push you in the right direction. So feel free to reach out and just know that we care and we're here. All right, was that enough? See you later, Gators. Bye.